This is lesson 5-2, the whole for fractions. Today we're going to need to find what our one whole is when we're given a fractional part of a region, like with these pattern blocks. If this is 1/2, what's my whole? All right, let's use our pattern block shapes on Connect Ed to help us figure this out. So we said that our trapezoid is worth half. How many halves to make a whole? I would need 2. What shape would this be equivalent to? If my red piece, my trapezoid, is 1/2, my hexagon is my one whole. 1/2 plus 1/2 makes a hexagon, which is my one whole. Okay, what if this is equal to half? This piece is 1/2. I know that 1/2 plus 1/2 would be equal to 2 halves, which is equivalent to one whole. My one whole would be 2 squares. This is my one whole. All right, so if this is my 1/2 and this is my one whole, what would this be? Remember, this is equal to 1/2. This is one whole. This is one whole. That shape would be 2 wholes. What if this pattern block diamond is 2/3? What's my whole? If this is 2/3, I know 3/3 would give me one whole. Well, I need to know what my third is. So if my diamond is 2/3, what piece can I use 2 of that would make the same shape as my diamond? These triangles must each be 1/3. If my blue shape is 2/3, these must each be 1/3, which means 3 of these would make 3/3 or one whole. Aha! So if my blue diamond is 2/3 of my whole, my red piece, my trapezoid, must be my one whole. Look, 3/3 make my one whole. So let's try this with fraction circle pieces. Remember, we're trying to find out what the one whole is. Fractions are smaller parts of a one whole. Now, just because we're using fraction circle pieces does not mean right now that this red circle is my one whole. In fact, Right now, this red circle is not my one whole. So, I'm going to take a light blue piece and I'm going to get rid of my other light blue pieces. This one light blue piece that I have is 1/3. If this light blue piece is 1/3, what is my whole? How many thirds will it take to make my whole? Three thirds makes one whole. One third, 2/3, 3/3. What piece would that be equivalent to? Yep. This pink piece is my one whole. If a light blue piece is 1/3, it takes 3/3 to make my whole. My pink piece is my whole. Okay. What if a purple piece is 1/4? If a purple piece is 1/4, 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 would equal 4/4, or my one whole. So what could I put together that would be equivalent to this shape? These two dark green pieces, let's see. Indeed, these two dark green pieces are exactly the same as my 4 purple pieces. So in this case, my one whole is 2 dark green pieces. All right, let's try another one. A dark blue piece is my 1/2. What would my whole be? Okay, so let's get my dark blue pieces. 1/2 plus 1/2 equals a whole. Get rid of these other pieces that I don't need. So what piece or pieces would be equivalent to make my 1/2 plus 1/2 to make my one whole? I think it might be yellow. Let's see. Yes. So if this dark blue piece is 1/2, this yellow piece is my one whole. All right. What if 2 of these light blue pieces are 1/3 of my whole? All right. 2 light blue pieces are equal to 1/3. So that's 1/3. That's 1/3. And these two together are 1/3. One-third plus 1/3 plus 1/3 equals 3/3 or my one whole. What piece would be equivalent to my one whole? the red piece. This is my 1 whole. In lesson 5-2, we are figuring out what the 1 whole is. We are given a fractional piece, and we are having to figure out what the 1 whole is. We'll practice this in class. See you tomorrow.